Okay, so let us start. Good afternoon, Sir Aljon. If you're watching this video right now, that means I cannot be with you live today to deliver my report. That is why I thought of recording my presentation for us to at least somehow meet halfway. And I'm hoping for your utmost consideration. And thank you po in advance for your understanding. Okay, let us start. So my topic is educational and technological integration for the subject Educ 228, Advanced Instructional Technology. Okay, about the reporter. About me. Okay, these are the subtopics that I'm gonna be discussing today. First one is the curriculum, the second one is technology, the third one is technology integration, then we have education, next is instructional models, and sixth is education or educational issues. So let us start. The first one is curriculum. According to the definition, it refers to the lessons and academic content taught in a school or in a specific course or program. And in dictionaries, a curriculum is often defined as the courses offered by a school. In my own definition, a curriculum, somehow the guiding principles that an institution, the teachers, the school administrators, and the stakeholders must follow to achieve a certain goal. And I'm also gonna be discussing the the curriculum that we currently use today, which is the K-12 curriculum. Now, let's continue. Curriculum typically refers to the knowledge and skills students are expected to learn, which includes the following. So, the first one is the learning standards or learning objectives they are expected to meet. Later on, I'm gonna be giving examples. And then we have the units and lessons that the teachers teach. These are all part of the curriculum. And then the assignments and projects given to the students, followed by, of course, the materials. So we have the methods, we have the materials, such as the books, the different learning resources, the videos, etc. that the teachers use. And then the last one, which is included in the curriculum, are the tests, assessments, and other methods used to evaluate student learning. Now, what are these tests for? These are for assessing if the students have learned something or not, if the teacher needs to improve his or her lesson, if the curriculum needs to be revised or to be changed or to be somehow modified to meet the needs, specific needs of the students. Now, as I was saying, the Philippine educational system has adopted a lot of different curriculums over the past centuries, and we are now using the K-12 curriculum. Let us focus on today's curriculum and how the school, the administrators, and the teachers and the stakeholders integrate technology in such curriculum. Now, in K-12, the student has to undergo kinder and then 12 years of basic education. That means 6 years in primary and then another 6 years in secondary. So, pagtungtong po nila ng secondary, from primary muna, from grades 1 to 6, and then secondary from grades 7 to 12. Now, grades 7, 8, 9, 10 are considered the junior years, and then 11 and 12 are considered the senior years. So, pagdating po sa grades 11 and 12, now, the students are now required to choose from the different tracks offered by this curriculum. What are these tracks? Academic track, we have arts and design, if I'm not mistaken, and then we have tech voc track, the technical vocational track, and then ano ba yung isa? Sports. So let us continue. Let us talk about the teacher's curriculum. This is the personalized curriculum that the teachers use. For example, in a specific curriculum, naisipan ni teacher na there are some ways that this curriculum can be improved by doing these things or by doing other things other than the prescribed activities in the curriculum guide. An individual teacher's curriculum, for example, would be the specific learning standards, lessons, assignments, and materials used to organize and teach a particular course. Saan natin makikita to? Usually makikita natin to sa teacher's lesson plans. And teachers are required to submit their daily lesson plans every day. Daily nga di ba? Okay. Let's continue. Okay, we are still in the curriculum. When we talk about curriculum, there are 4 standards that the curriculum must have. Okay, the first one are the goals, then the methods, and then the materials, and then the assessment. Okay, let us talk about goals. What are goals? Based on the definition within a curriculum, these are the standards-based benchmarks or expectations for teaching and learning. Goals must include the breadth and depth to which a student is expected to learn. Now, where can we find these goals? These goals can be found in curriculum guide. If you are a teacher, you are familiar with curriculum guides. And curriculum guides include the different learning outcomes that the students must accomplish. And speaking of learning outcomes, we have the methods. How can we achieve the different learning outcomes prescribed in a curriculum? We are going to have the different activities intended for that specific subject area, or what we call the methods. The methods are the instructional decisions, approaches, procedures, and routines that teachers use to engage all students in meaningful learning. So, when we say methods, these are the activities on how to achieve such learning areas through different relevant activities. Dito napapasok si activities. Ano-ano yung mga activities or methods that the teacher is suggested to use to achieve such goals. And then we have the next one, the materials. Okay. Of course, we cannot achieve a certain goal without doing something. Diyan papasok si activity, but the activities sometimes cannot be done without the materials. Materials are important because these are the tools selected to implement the methods and achieve the goals of the curriculum. Materials are intentionally chosen to support a student's learning. For example, a specific subject area such as science, math, and English, all of which have different methods, different goals, and of course, different materials. For example, in the subject of science, the student has to accomplish doing a model of a volcano. The student will be having this material, specific materials, to achieve such project. And then sa math naman, they are required to solve a certain diagram or certain problem, which requires different materials also. So, yung materials na ginagamit sa science and sa math can be different. Okay, for example, sa TLE mas madami kasi sa technology and livelihood education, we have different subject areas, we have different specializations. For example, iba ang required materials na gagamitin sa subject na computer systems servicing, iba ang ginagamit sa handicrafts, iba ang ginagamit sa dressmaking, iba ang ginagamit sa cookery, sa food and beverage services, etc., etc. Kahit nga sa strand na ICT, meron pa rin specializations. Sa ICT kasi, some people think na ang ICT is just ICT, but no, sa K-12 curriculum, ICT still has specializations. For example, ICT is divided into different specializations such as CSS, Computer System Servicing, Technical Drafting, we have Animation, we have Programming, and so on. Sa Home Economics, we have Food and Beverage Services, we have Cookery, we have Housekeeping, Household Services, etc. And sa ibang subject areas din na under TLE. So moving forward, let us talk about the assessment. Okay, the assessment, based on the definition in a curriculum, is the ongoing process of gathering information about a student's learning. This includes a variety of ways to document what the student knows, understands, and can do with their knowledge and skills. Now, assessment, in layman's term, these are the different tests or examinations that the students must undergo for them or for the teacher to know if they really learned something. Okay, when we talk about assessment, the purpose of it is for us to provide feedback. Feedback if the student really learned something, as I've said, and if the student has achieved a certain goal. Now, assessments are also used to somehow have a feedback what to improve, what to change, what to modify, where to start from the results of the evaluation, etc., etc. Okay, so assessment is very important for the improvement of the curriculum itself. And assessment is also important for the improvement of the teacher's methodologies, okay, or the student's response, or the student's engagement and achievement, okay. So assessment is a very essential tool in improving one's curriculum and performance. Next. The next topic is about technology. Now, what is technology? According to the definition, the technology is the application of scientific knowledge for practical purposes, especially in industry. Technology are machineries and equipment developed from the application of scientific knowledge and the branch of knowledge dealing with engineering or applied sciences. Okay, let us talk about technology. There is a misconception about the definition of the word technology because technology is applied science. So, some people think that technology is only about computers, only about digital stuff, the internet, the tablet, the smartphones that we use in our everyday lives. But technology is more than that. Everything is a product of technology. From the clothes we wear, from the food we eat, from everything around us. Everything is a product of technology. So when we say technology, it is not just limited to computers and such. Technology is applied science. So basically, technology is everywhere. Technology is around us. Okay, so where is technology derived from? It is derived from the word techne, from the Greek word techne, which means art or craft, okay? And then technologia, systematic treatment. So when we put it together, technology is an art or craft and a systematic treatment of something. In this case, technology is applied science, so systematic application of scientific knowledge. Okay, so that is technology. So let us talk about technology integration. What is technology integration? What does it mean? In an educational perspective, in my own understanding, technology integration is basically combining technology with the classroom settings in such a way that learning would be more engaging and more interesting for the students. Technology integration is the use of technology resources such as the following. We have computers, we have mobile devices like smartphones and digital tablets, we have digital cameras, social media platforms, and networks, software applications, and the internet. In what? In a daily classroom practices and in the management of a school. Now, when we say technology integration, it is basically integrating modern means to achieve learning and provide assessment and feedback more effectively. Next slide. Okay, so the next slides that I'll be showing you is of my own work. I've been using this best practice for many years now in teaching my students, and I think it is deemed effective when it comes to promoting engagement and interaction among my students. This is what we call gamification, and it is a technique in which you gamify your lessons or your presentations. What does gamification mean? It means putting game elements in your presentation, sometimes in a non-game context, to achieve more engagement and achievement among your students. Now, how effective it is as compared to the traditional way of teaching, I can say through observation for so many years now, I can say that my students are more interested when they see presentations that are not just plain or flat. They are more interested with presentations that are interactive, presentations which require them to answer yes or no, to click this and that, to achieve points when they are correct, or lose points if they are wrong. Something that is interactive that would catch their attention. An example is this one. Okay, my topic here is about Introduction to HTML. This is a gamified presentation about HTML. And HTML somehow is basic programming, so for some it would be too hard to understand, especially for those who are in the lower sections. That is why it is really important that the teacher grasps how the students learn. Not all students have same level of comprehension and understanding, and of course, IQ. That is why the least that a teacher can do is to make his or her lesson more interesting for the students. Now, the next slides, as I've said, is of my own work. I've been using this for years, and here goes.
Long time ago, there was a cute flabby panda named Po. He never knew who his real parents were, but he also never knew that he was destined for greatness. He never knew he was destined to be the ICT warrior. At a very young age, Po showed exceptional curiosity on how things work. One day, he came across the world of ICT. His journey for greatness began. Po left his home to find his idols in ICT, the Furious Five. He traveled for days until he was able to reach the Valley of Peace, where the Jade Palace can be found. There, he met Master Oogway.
Okay. What you have seen is pure PowerPoint presentation, but it seems like the students merge themselves into a game. So it is interactive in the sense that the students have to follow the journey of a certain character, and then they will have to put themselves in the shoes of that character. In this case, the presentation is basically asking you if you want to be taught or not. So I'm just gonna read. Hi there, I can sense that you thirst for knowledge. Do you want me to teach you? So the students will answer yes or no. Some students will answer no, but they cannot proceed if they answered no. So they have to answer yes. They have no choice. So let us click on this one, and then the presentation will move. They will have to click enter. So basically, the students can manipulate the presentation on their own by just answering the simple questions yes or no. And then ready to become an ICT warrior, your idols are ready to train you. And then if you click it one more time, then the home page will appear. It says, welcome to the world of ICT, and then the following topics will also appear. Opposite them are the main characters of your role-playing presentation, your interactive presentation, gamified presentation. So we have the internet, introduction to HTML, formatting tags, embedding tags, HTML tables, HTML links. These are not just pictures and labels. These are links leading to the different topics in HTML. So if I click on this one, okay, then the next slides will appear. Like for example, this one. Okay, and then this one. So it is interactive because students can basically manipulate the presentation, and it makes them more excited, more interested, invested in the lesson, since they are expecting what will happen next. Okay, so if we click let's go, okay, click one of the bags, internet, yan. Diyan na papasok yung lesson proper. So, dito na papasok si teacher. He or she will now explain what the lesson is all about. Okay, the next slide, next slide, next slide. And then, after the lesson, there is what we call a post-test or a quick formative test. So they will have to answer the following questions by clicking on the different options. If they click on the wrong option, then it will say incorrect. But if they click on the right answer, of course, the correct tab or the correct answer, the correct label will appear, and then they can click this to proceed on the next question. Okay, like this one. So, let us click the correct answers. Computer serves up, web server, correct. And then, software used to access the World Wide Web. Nagkakamali na ako, father of internet, Tim Berners-Lee. And then, that ends the first part of your introduction to HTML. Of course, may mga second part pa tayo. So basically, if you want to use gamification, the limit is just your imagination and your creativity, of course. And aside from that, medyo matrabaho po siya. It took me months to finish this presentation. Kailangan mag-invest ka talaga in making your presentation interesting and gamified. Yun nga lang, mag-invest ka ng time and resources mo talaga. Pero everything is worth it. Promise. Lahat ng pinaghihirapan, worth it. Okay. So, that is basically it. That is one example of technology, effective technology integration that I am using for so many years now. Okay. Yan. Share ko lang sa inyo to na actually this was a competition among Mandaluyong teachers in the division of Mandaluyong. And then, I did not expect it to have won first place. Okay, so this is my certificate, and then I have represented Mandaluyong High School nang ako lang mag-isa. Literally, ako lang mag-isa from Mandaluyong High School, and then yung other schools may kasama. But it's okay. At least umuwi ako sa Mandaluyong High School na merong certificate. Not just certificate, but first place certificate. Okay, moving on. Okay, these are the different relevant apps that I'm also using when I want to gamify my lessons. If you don't have time to create presentations such as what I've shown you a while ago, then you can somehow explore and use the following educational app in your class if you are a teacher, like this one, Kahoot and Clickers. So these applications can be used for assessment, for evaluation, even for motivation. And what else? Lesson proper. You can also use the following for your lesson proper. Okay, these are the actual pictures of my students enjoying my class using the following applications. This one is when they use Kahoot. Okay, for those teachers using Kahoot, I'm sure you are all familiar with the interface and the site of the students when they use this. The next one, Speakers. Yan. Usually I use Speakers for assessment and evaluation. The students will be getting a what we call Speakers card, and then the question will appear in front on the board. They will have to answer the question by raising their cards according to the letter of their answer. So that's basically it. And then the teacher can see immediately kung sino yung nakakuha ng tamang sagot tsaka yung mga maling sagot. If the student's name on your cell phone is highlighted green, that means that the student's answer is correct. And if it's red, it means that it is wrong. Okay. As you can see, the attention and the interest is there, really. So this is one effective way of integrating technology in your classroom, in a teacher's perspective. Next one, okay. There are also what we call self-paced applications or learning management systems, in which a learning management system is self-paced, meaning you can complete the different activities, lessons, etc. independently, and then you can also check your progress independently. All you have to do is to install the application and then open it, play with it. Okay. These are just additional information for technology integration. AR versus VR, I'm not gonna be focusing on the different definition. I'm just gonna be showing this to you. AR versus VR, augmented reality versus virtual reality. Okay. And then we have, okay, so that is for the technology integration. Let us now go to instructional models and strategies, and then we have instructional methods and skills. Now, what are instructional models? Instructional models represent the broadest level of instructional practices and present a philosophical orientation to instruction. while instructional strategies within each model, several strategies can be used. I'm gonna be showing you a diagram after this presentation of the definition. The next one is instructional methods. These are the methods used by the teachers to create learning environments and to specify the nature of the activity in which the teacher and the learner will be involved during the lesson. And then instructional skills. Skills are the most specific. What skill are you gonna use for instructional behaviors? Ito yung sinasabi kong one of the diagrams. So we have the skills, methods, strategies, and models. From the broadest to the most specific. And speaking of the following, okay, these are the instructional models, okay, inside this portion of the diagram. Instructional models include information processing, behavioral, social interaction, and personal. And then instructional strategies. What kind of strategy a teacher often use? It can be direct, indirect, interactive, experimental, or independent study. Now, let's go to the more specific one. Among these strategies, what instructional methods are you gonna use? We have inquiry, simulations, lecture, case studies, cooperative learning, learning contracts, focused imaging, or debate. And then the most specific among these model strategies methods are the skills. So we have planning, direction giving, demonstrating, presenting, evaluating, and questioning. Okay, so let us talk about the instructional strategies. So these are the instructional strategies. We have direct instruction. This is highly teacher-directed. Ito yung mga traditional means of teaching. It is among the most commonly used. The direct instruction strategy is effective for providing information or developing step-by-step skills. So it is an explicit way of learning. So tinuturo ni teacher yung step-by-step in a direct manner. Ano yung mga activities or methods possible for direct instructions? These are the following methods. Yan. Okay, next one. Indirect instruction. When we say indirect instruction, these are intended for the students who have a high level of involvement in observing, investigating, drawing inferences from data, or forming hypotheses. These are suitable for students who have high IQ, in my own opinion. It takes advantage of students' interest and curiosity, often encouraging them to generate alternatives or solve problems. Since students with high IQ can formulate their own solutions to their problems. But this is not applicable to all, since not all students have the same level of understanding and comprehension, and of course IQ. In contrast to the direct instruction strategy, indirect instruction is mainly student-centered. So teachers in this sense, or in this kind of instruction, are facilitators of learning. Just facilitators of learning, then they will let the students work on their own. Although the two strategies can complement each other, so direct instruction and indirect instruction can complement one another. For example, the teacher will be giving the step-by-step procedure. This is what you're going to do. The teacher will demonstrate step 1, step 2, step 3. And then, indirect instruction will come next. The students will have to, based on the step-by-step procedure that the teacher have shown, they will be given another activity, another situation in which the step-by-step procedure which the teacher have shown will be the basis of the next step-by-step procedures that they're gonna be doing. The possible methods for indirect instructions are the following. Yan, problem solving, case studies, etc. Okay, next one. The next one is interactive instruction. It relies heavily on discussion and sharing among participants, more open forum among the students, more recitation, more insights, sharing of experiences. Students can learn from peers and teachers to develop social skills and abilities to organize their thoughts and to develop rational arguments. This kind of a strategy is commonly used in the subject personality development in senior high school. I have also experienced handling that subject. And then these are the methods. Yan, debates, role-playing, panels, brainstorming, etc. Okay, next one, experiential learning. So this strategy is inductive. Inductive meaning from specific to general. learner-centered and activity-oriented, personalized reflection about an experience, and the formulation of plans to apply learnings to other contexts. From the word experience, these are the following methods. Yan. So we have field trips, narratives, conducting experiments, simulations. Thus, the students are exposed to such experiences para to engage them or to progress learning. So that is experiential learning. The next one is independent study. This strategy refers to the range of instructional methods which are purposefully provided to foster development of individual, student initiative, self-reliance, and self-improvement. Okay, from the word independent, the student learns and discovers on his own. The different methods are possible. Essays, computer-assisted instruction, CAI, katulad ng example ko kanina, yung mga learning management system natin. It is intended for independent learners. Journals, logs, learning logs. These are suitable for the students who can work better when they are alone. Like myself, I work better when I'm alone. Okay, the next one. Okay, ito na po yung last topic ko, which is educational issues sa public school settings natin today. I'm a public school teacher for more than 8 years now. And most, if not all of this, I have already experienced among my students. The classroom size, sometimes we are handling 50 plus students in a classroom, in a standard-sized classroom. So, sometimes it is hard for us teachers to manage the class since hindi lahat pare-parehas ng behavior and lahat ng behavior kailangan ma-manage namin. There are students who are quiet, silent, there are students who are timid, and there are students who are active, there are students who are playful, there are students who are hard-headed, and sometimes you encounter students who are disrespectful, and it's still up to us teachers to address the issue, to address the issue in such a manner that we will not be labeled as abusers of such students. So, mahirap ang role ni teacher since tali ang kamay natin or limited ang way natin of disciplining our students. So, these are some of the educational issues. We have the classroom size, poverty among the public school students. Ito talagang one of the most prominent. Family factors, sometimes nagtataka ka bakit yung student hindi pumapasok, yun pala nabubugbog na sa bahay, o kaya yun pala walang baon. And then technology, bullying, student attitudes and behaviors, no child is left behind. Dito papasok yung term na mass promotion, although DepEd has already stated that there is no such thing as mass promotions. We cannot just fail the students unless we do remedial or remediation with the student. But sometimes, even with remediation, the students sometimes are not deserving to be passed. But we pass the students because they are always present. And then we have parent involvement, student health, and funding. So I'm gonna be showing you a video about technology and how it greatly affects human communication, even family ties, family connections, etc. So let's watch the video.
Okay guys, time for dinner. Come help set the table.
So that is a nice presentation, video presentation. So what does it mean? Let me end my presentation with the reflections on that video. That technology has become a vital part of our daily lives, and its goal is to make our lives better. But everything in excess is bad. That instead of us controlling technology, it is technology which is controlling us. So whenever we use too much cell phones or tablets or computers, ask ourselves, are we still connected with the people that we care about, we care for? We need to ask ourselves, are we really connecting to those people we love and care about? Or is technology disconnecting us from the people that we love? And that ends my report. Thank you po, Sir Aljon, for understanding, for your utmost consideration. And thank you po for listening. I hope you have a great day ahead. And stay safe, take care, God bless.